this speaks. I'm going to reveal something that the audience didn't need to know, but I'm going to reveal it anyway. It speaks to the quality of this franchise that we waited 2 weeks in our pre-recording to finally do the wrap up for this one.
I mean, I don't know that we're going to miss too much about the franchise. I was trying to pick out some details that summarize it. But are you saying that it took us 2 weeks because the quality is so low?
That's what I am insinuating at this point.
I think I'm sure there's other franchises that act the same way. Somehow, whatever success they found, I feel like it translated okay. Like, sure, I think that the money went down the further they went through it, but I don't know. It feels like Twilight franchise is horrible, but people went and watched it.
See, and I never watched any of them, so that would be if we ever did that franchise, that would be one that would be totally new for me.
I don't want to, man. Just the bits that people have explained, the conflict that kind of doesn't happen. I don't know if it's had that way in the books, but it's
the dream sequence, the infamous dream sequence.
Well, I don't know that I know the infamous dream sequence. I just know that they face off and then nobody actually fights or something like that.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about, because a friend told me when it was brand new, he saw it with his wife and he was so angry. And he was like, "You're never going to watch this. I'm going to spoil it." And I was like, "All right, fine." And he was like, so they all face off and they start having the most epic battle. It is so good. And I'm just sitting here thinking, what is this franchise? Like, suddenly it is now paying off in a way that I never would have expected. And then I said out loud, I bet it's all like a dream or a fiction.
No.
And then they cut to some person on the vampire side who can see into the future. And they decide they can't have this fight because of how many people will die. So they don't have the fight. And so in one regard, you do get to see an epic battle, but it's not real and it's cut off.
Well,
I don't know if it's true. I've never seen it and I'm not going to look it up. So
this franchise, I think, is a step above that, where they actually get into fights and people die. So I just think that it's of the same cloth in terms of content. Like, okay, here's a story. Maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know if there's as much contradictory lore in Twilight, but maybe this one just kind of makes it.
I don't know either.
I was starting a small list of who do I like more than Celine.
That's fair. That's a good list. Hello and welcome to Potato Chip Pictures, the movie franchise review podcast. My name is B. Sammy Davis.
Hello again, I'm Justin.
And today we are looking at the entirety of the Underworld franchise. It is our Underworld wrap-up episode. Yeah!
Hooray!
And, I was reading the Wikipedia because I just wanted to remind myself of the franchise. And one of the things that it said, this is the second paragraph in, the series received generally negative reviews from critics, but amassed a strong fan following and grossed a total of $539 million against a combined budget of $207 million. So it was profitable. It did well with its fans, and now we can add ourselves to that list of critics who generally didn't like it.
uh, to make vampires a little bit boring, just I don't know if it felt overpowered or underpowered. They just felt like uh protagonists that happen to never die. I don't know. Do we see any of them get staked? I feel like they fight, but none of them are like vampire staked.
Yeah. No stakes. I think the only confirmed weaknesses are sunlight and beheading. But the only one who even got remotely beheaded was Victor, who got beskulled.
But, I mean, he could have survived that. You never know.
Yeah, he survived having his spinal column sliced right through.
You don't need that anymore if you're a vampire.
Unless you're a younger vampire, I guess, because of Blood Wars, where that villain died the exact same way. Okay, let's go through the scores. This time around, you were the high score at a combined average of 3.9. So still on the bottom end, but, almost to a 4, like just under an average. Whereas I was still in the neighborhood of 3. I just went 3.2 with mine. And that gives us a combined average of 3.55 for the show. And frankly, the only one that got a 5 out of me was Awakening, which was just so different from the rest of the movies.
I was trying to think through what was enjoyable because I kind of think I wanted more of the weapon technology to come out because they've got the cool like full auto pistols that somehow follow her through hibernation, or what would you call when you're frozen?
I mean, it is frozen, like cryogenically frozen.
Those ones. Yeah. They stick around, and her outfit sticks around too. But they had like cool other little throwing knives, and I think that could have maybe been the high point for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to show up in the pre music, but we briefly talked about the other famous werewolf versus vampire franchise that neither of us have seen, and that is the Twilight franchise. But that has probably more fans, and I imagine it made more money.
So.
I think it had 4 movies to their 5.
Didn't they split the last one? I felt like it was like a Harry Potter situation.
I think so, and I don't know how many books there were. So I'm completely out of my depth in this situation.
Oh yeah, it looks like they hit 3-point-something billion.
Woo!
3.3. Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
5 films.
That one has kind of, for better or worse, become the modern face of the werewolf versus vampire saga. And that one had equal amounts of disdain and disrespect for the original lore.
Apparently, it like these years are kind of lining up. Underworld was coming out, and Twilight was like 2009. This is interesting. I feel like
so that was around Rise of the Lycans,
vampire era of the world.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in terms of television and some video games, I think there are small waves. I don't know if we've ever had a really good vampire renaissance, because I'm remembering in the mid 90s when you had a couple of really good vampire movies come out and a couple of really good vampire games come out.
Mm.
Um, and then it just kind of died off, and then they came back with this set. And I think you originally said something about how these vampires didn't feel as powerful, and I
Yeah.
feel like their use of guns kind of detracts from everything, where it's like you've got claws and teeth and you're immortal
Mm-hmm.
and you are strengthened by blood, and yet you're using ranged guns. Like,
Yeah, I think that was most highlighted in the one that you liked the most, where
mm-hmm.
like, wait, that's Awakening, right? Because she's frozen.
Yeah.
Coming into the Purge, where humans get the upper hand on apparently these millions of vampires that infiltrated and existed in society, when it didn't really feel like that in the first movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right with the weapons being a thing. I haven't read like Dracula or watched the Nosferatu that has come out recently. I feel like vampires can be more intimidating when they are uh, reflected against humans, I guess,
Mm.
because we're even just any extra speed, even just any sort of magical movement makes them so close to biting your neck by surprise and, getting the
Mm-hmm.
upper hand so much more easily. I don't,
There's
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to have interrupted, but there was a show called The Strain, I think.
Hmm.
It's not a great show, but it's a brilliant premise, and that premise is essentially a modern day Dracula story, and it plays on the idea that vampirism is a virus. These are the living dead, and when someone gets bitten, they don't know that they are turning until it's too late.
Hmm.
And at that point, they become more like zombies, where they can't think, they just hunt and they go crazy. But over time, they regain intelligence uh, and become vampires, but they're nothing like what they were when they were human beings. They are definitely a new creature. Um, and I kind of wish there was more vampire media that did interesting stuff like that. And this one, I don't
Nobody
know if
gets turned into
anyone
a
got
vampire.
turned. Yeah.
Everybody is born into it apparently because vampires have children, but we don't see
Only
any of those
werewolves are
children.
turned in this
Um,
whole
that's
franchise.
true. Yeah, I think that's a good highlight of what's missing. Like, if you can't make more vampires, like, why are we purging them if they
Yeah.
can't actually turn you? Yes, they drink your blood, but apparently that's nothing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because I think,
And they
let's see,
they make synthetic blood now.
yeah,
Like,
their
they don't even need
contribution
your
to
blood.
society, yeah. uh, well, that's just one piece. I think maybe using vampires, maybe you could have gone a different direction, because I think this franchise is interested in uh what would you call it?
The
Uh
Matrix.
well, the Matrix, yes,
Sorry.
but also like monarchy, like bloodlines,
Mm.
and a little bit of like peasants versus the elite. And
Yeah.
maybe make something that's not vampires, but because these just don't quite feel like it. They're sensitive to sun, and that's
Mm-hmm.
used in the Purge. But do they? Oh yeah, and then the werewolves do their one good strategy of knocking out the windows.
With the most powerful weapon, which, fine. What, like, I spoke in defense of it, but I still don't feel like I needed to. I hated that movie.
Yeah. Well,
My 1,000-foot view of overall what I think I hated the most about this whole franchise is that every movie they are like, the lore is very important, and then the next one will come out and they'll be like, this part of the lore is very important, forget everything else, but this part matters now, and then they'll change that in the next one and the next one. I just got so angry at how little respect they had for their own lore that they told us mattered.
yeah. It's very apparent in the last one when there's Nordic vampires that have white hair, and there's a whole spiritual side of vampirism that we don't get to see at all.
Oh, that breaks my heart. Oh man, why you gotta remind me that we never get to see the spirit
Well, you
realm?
said the worst part was this broad area, and it was like, well, here's the dagger that's this little bit that is introduced in the last movie will never ever get explained because there won't be a sixth movie.
Yeah.
And could be interesting. I think the introduction of lore is like, it's a nice thing to add to a movie, but to a franchise, it changes everything. Like the pager for Captain Marvel. Like, oh, we never had to use this. Hold on, Captain
Yeah.
Marvel's coming.
I conveniently have it with me at all times.
Yep.
Never once used it, but now I need to have it. And fine, whatever. And if we ever do the Marvel franchise, you will quickly learn how forgiving I am. But I wasn't as forgiving in this one. And
Yeah.
that goes to my second criticism. And I already hinted at it. I genuinely think that these guys really loved The Matrix. Lynn Wiseman and Danny McBride, the original director and writer for the first two movies. I think they were like, we can do that. We can make a Matrix. Let's make our own Matrix, but it's going to be different. We're going to have vampires and we're going to have werewolves. And the vampires are the good guys, except they're not the good guys.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. If I remember right, the McBride guy was a lot of stunt coordination. At least when I think I clicked on his name. And I think in the first couple of movies, it did feel like this is a nice vehicle for cool stunts and cool gore, and the costuming and everything maybe set. But then I feel like Rise of the Lycans kind of could have done more with the actual locations. Like, here's a nondescript wood, here's a nondescript cliff, but there's so many rooms on the cliffside that you can get to, you can't get to. It's like, you just have to fall down really far when you escape the vampires for no reason. But then they all show up and they are running across like a plane before they get to the vampire place. I don't know why that one sticks out, but that one is like,
that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. If I were to retroactively change my score, that would affect it. I didn't realize the magical terrain.
So I think it may have that influence. Yes, definitely from the Matrix, of the guns, black plastic look, but I do think it excelled in stunts and blood and gore. If I were to give it if you're looking for this in a movie, this franchise mostly has it for you.
Yeah, I don't know. See, Maybe. I think, and this is one of those franchises where we would, it is the pinnacle of something where you would have to accept the direct to video sequels. But Starship Troopers, I think, is my favorite gore fest of all movies of all time.
It's a good one. I haven't watched any other ones. I think I just watched the first one.
The other ones are pretty bad, but oh man, I did watch a few of the direct to video sequels. And then I think they went animated for a while with varying quality. And we can visit this one day and take a look at it. But I don't, like, to me, the first movie is the strongest one. And so I don't know if I want to go into something that I know is going to be bad. Like, just
Quite so
to.
much like that.
Yeah. But in this franchise, I'm genuinely glad that I got to Awakening. That's the one that surprised me. It was the one that had the highest return in the box office, so clearly audiences responded to it. It is ridiculous. It's a future sci-fi post-apocalyptic world where humans are killing off the werewolves and the vampires, except no, the werewolves are working in the government.
They're
and
actually around.
Yeah. But at the same time, it was so different than the previous three. And on top of that, like, we finally had werewolves as the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
It was a genuine surprise. Average movie, didn't do anything great, but for this franchise, I was like, okay.
Yeah. I think that was a nice surprise. I feel like I'm trying to remember the plot of that one, because she mostly just wants to find Michael, but she's trying to protect her daughter because her daughter gets taken. I feel like this one breaks from that bloodlines and monarchy type thing, or hierarchy type thing, where
this one had a revolutionary in it. This one had a dude who was like, bring down the patriarchy. We must rise, my brothers.
Rise against the lichens that don't exist anymore. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember who he was wanting to overthrow because the humans had purged them. But like,
well, early on, he was saying he wanted to rise against the humans, but when it turned out that it was the lichens who were secretly running something, he was happy to rise against the lichens as well. But yeah, and then, like a chump, he becomes a royalist in the very next movie.
See, that's where I'm getting it from. I'm like, it is obsessed for plot purposes on the first three vampires. It's all coming from a bloodline, and my brother can't change from a werewolf, and like these, yeah. And then we get to the Alexander guy, who is the originator of the virus, and it's like there's always some sort of power play happening, but Awakening is a little different in following Celine, trying to just wake up and process losing Michael, gaining Eve, and then trying to rescue them. That's why I kind of like that one for that reason.
It's funny because you gave that one a 3 at the time. You didn't like it.
Well, like that one, I like that reason of that movie. On this 1,000
fair
1,000-foot perspective.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things where, like, as I look at some of these scores, I don't know if if I would give these movies the same score today.
Mm.
But I also haven't rewatched any of these movies. I'm just thinking about them and thinking maybe I was too harsh. But at the time, I felt like that was a fair score. And so I've got to respect
Yeah.
what it says.
Oh yeah.
And what it says for you is that the original movie is a 5 out of 10, and that was your top.
Highest. Yeah. I think it, when you get to start off with the first movie, you get a lot of leeway in,
Mm-hmm.
um, what's the word? Pacing. There's a lot of things that I probably wouldn't forgive the second movie, which I think it still was like, I enjoyed more that they talked more, because actually in
Mm-hmm.
the first one, they don't really talk to each other,
Yeah.
but apparently they're in love with each other. Don't forget. But they're kind of just two pretty people in love with each other
Mm-hmm.
without necessarily having 100% of the chemistry to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staring at a list of the main characters with their pictures, and it's like, there's 4 people, 5. The 5th one is kind of like, well, Marius would be my lowest rated
I'm trying
contributor.
to remember who Marius was.
Last movie, werewolf guy.
Oh,
Mostly
yeah. Looked
because I've
like,
seen him work in other things, and it's like seeing Bill Nye in the first one when he
mm-hmm.
transforms from old and wrinkled to full vampire form, and it's like, wow, we get to see an intimidating vampire go through a revival to get to um, whatever sort of power set he has. He's more power than Celine.
He turns into a werewolf and then back into a person.
I think it's, well, uh, there's a couple of good actors, and none of them are the main 2 protagonists of that first movie.
Yeah. But there are 2 actors in that first movie that I genuinely enjoyed watching. And that is Michael Sheen and oh crap, whoever plays Victor. I've
Bill
forgotten his
Nye.
name. Bill Nye. Thank you. Those 2 were so good.
Yes, I think that props up a lot of my 5. Although I do think Victor kind of downgraded in later ones because it was just a little more, I think you call it vaudevillian, when they're just a little bit like twirly mustache, just kind of not hamming it up, but the Dracula posture of, oh, I can't believe you betrayed me, and Sonia, you're with a lichen. It's like, well,
I mean, he hams it up in the first one too. It's just he hams it up well.
yeah.
He does it in a way that works so well. And it doesn't work as well in Rise of the Lycans.
Yeah, no. 0.
But Michael Sheen is shockingly good as an action star. Like,
yeah. I didn't
because
expect him to be
I
the
don't
main
see
character,
him.
really.
Yeah. Everything I had seen him in was definitely not action related. I mean, one of his biggest roles recently is in Good Omens as the angel. And he's very good in it. But then most other things that I've seen him in, like, he's not the big action guy. He's usually the bumbling funny guy. So yeah, I was kind of surprised at how good he is.
All that to justify my highest score of that one, because those 2 specifically in the first one helped the supporting cast around the what would you call it? The love interests. They them being there was good, and thank goodness that we didn't have to keep what's his face from the first movie into the second movie very long. He gets all torn up by Marcus once he wakes up.
Oh, Craven.
Craven? I think you're
Yeah,
right.
Craven is the bat. Well, he's the creepy vampire who wants to get with Celine,
Yeah.
and then he's the traitor. But it doesn't matter because Victor was also the traitor. Like, oh man. The movie has style, but it is so convoluted.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's why my first one, like second one goes downhill, Rise of the Lycans dig downhill again for the main cast. I think of the last two, I think Charles Dance kind of, but I would probably put Samira above him just because a little bit of the intrigue, and then it kind of gets hand waved away by he's David is the actual heir to this coven, and we're gonna serve the king. Their entire plan just gets smashed.
Oh man. Oh man, every time I think about Blood Wars, it kind of makes me angry. I'm kind of surprised that this particular franchise never had a video game.
I see comics, I see anime, I see games.
Oh, there is a video game. There is one.
A collectible
2004's Eternal War was a top-down shooter for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox and PC.
2004.
I just never think about the Xbox and PC because I don't usually think about that. But you also found a collectible card game?
Something
That's
like
interesting.
that. Oh.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, mobile video game, maybe.
Oh.
2016.
Yeah, but we have a few novels. We've got comics.
I saw the anime there, and I was like, maybe I'll check out that just as a side thing without having to read it, because I mean, I've heard good things of like the cyberpunk anime that's on Netflix. Yeah, cyberpunk. And this one, 2011. I mean, you could probably do maybe some more things. Oh, part 1 is in 1890 with Celine. Oh, they put dates on it. Oh no, this is gonna ruin your lore. Part 2, 1967.
You'll have to return to it.
Yeah, 2012 for part 3, because it's after the events of evolution. It's like, oh, okay. So we get more of that story. Okay.
Good. My favorite story. Well, to be fair, that gives us the day walking Celine because she drinks that blood. Yeah. But I'm also going to say one of the things that I found most interesting about Awakening was the respect that it had for the fact that Alexander Corvinus. He had been working in the background to keep the secret of both vampires and werewolves, and now he's dead, and so naturally the humans find out. And I remember being surprised by that at the time. I don't even think the movie realized that it did that. I think they were just like, we got to have a post-apocalyptic thing, and they stumbled upon something kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, they also quickly got rid of the concept of age equals power. Such a dumb idea.
I'm just trying to think of how much would actually resolve if you had a consistent universe. Like, I don't want to imagine that the third Dune movie is going to be consistent to the first two, but I feel like they're one to two of this newest Dune feel like extensions of a story instead of kind of
Mm-hmm.
installments of a vampire versus werewolf fight.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. This is a franchise of installments that claims to be a connected story. And I think that might be what makes me so angry is that they're like, we promise this is all like a continuation. Just forget some things from the last ones.
And it'll be fine. I was
Yeah.
looking for other 4-film franchises, and I was like, I wonder if Lethal Weapon is like a 4-film franchise. It's not, but I was rolling through that in my mind and just comparing the main characters living through all of stuff versus like
Mm-hmm.
one character kind of spanning all of these. I think, yeah.
Oh, man, you made me remember the thing that makes me angry the third.
Prequel.
Yeah, the wonky timeline. Like, we know that the war started first because that's what they told us. Like, the daughter died and Celine was seen, and she reminded Victor of the daughter, so that's why he turned her. But the reason Celine was even around was because her dad was crafting a tomb for William, the original
The
werewolf,
brother.
who had been captured at some point by all three of the main vampires. But during the time of the war, they were in their sleep cycle of one awake and two asleep. Like, oh, I get so angry. And on top of that, the key exists before William and his tomb are ever created. Oh, it makes
Somehow.
me mad.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the one that really, really bugs me. But whatever, whatever.
Could
I can't
you
be mad at it forever.
could you fix it with an Underworld 6? What do you think?
Ooh, see, I'm glad you brought that up because Kate Beckinsale has said, let's see, how recently was it? 2021, that she would be interested in playing her character again.
For narration?
Oh gosh, I hope so, because like she ain't getting any younger, and that's the thing. Like
She'll have
we
to
gotta be
explain
willing to
it
recast
for a fourth
Yeah.
time. This is the
Oh, man.
timeline as it stands.
Yeah, or we're jumping like 1,000 years in the future because they
She
do
should
age,
be
I
immortal.
think.
Yeah, a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, and like I don't know, maybe they are. If they're immortal, they're not supposed to age at all. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you could do it. If I'm honest with you, I would be okay with a sixth movie, but I would want it to be a total reboot. Completely new creative team, all new actors. I do not want the original movie told again. I want the concept picked up by someone who wants to try it their own way.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like there's a bunch of, I don't know, you call them revivals or remakes of movie starts. I could see Underworld coming back. Wonder how different it would look, because we don't have a Matrix. We have like Mission Impossible or something. Or
Yeah, or superhero style, all bright and shiny. Yeah, I don't know what style they would want to copy, but I think they should try to copy the style of the original. Even though the original was a copy of the Matrix, I think if you have someone coming in and only looking at the original and being like, So that's the style that I'm riffing on. And, maybe they do something entirely different. They try a totally different look, or maybe they come up with something really special.
The bar that they have to
Um,
clear is
yeah.
3.55. So
It's not hard.
not hard.
They can hit this thing.
Just make a
Um,
vampire group that acts like vampires and a lichen group that acts like lichens, and
yeah. Oh my gosh.
have them try to both achieve some sort of objective that they want either which way. Like, I don't know what would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you need to go
Yeah.
to world ending if you just go with local trouble.
I agree. I don't even know if you need them chasing something in particular. I think you'd be fine with telling the story of the animalistic werewolves constantly haranguing the vampires, and the vampires needing to go to war, needing to organize and group up. Like, I don't know, maybe you want to have vampires be isolationist and werewolves or lichens be pack-minded, and because the lichens are coming after vampires, they're forced to change, like they have to come together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to give free ideas away, especially bad ones. I want to make fun of some of the canceled rumored projects. I don't know, like with any canceled project, until something is on film, I don't know if you can really call it like a project. But these were the things that apparently were in talks. Like, people were working on these ideas. I don't know if you remember the movie I, Frankenstein. It was based on a graphic novel. And that was the one that got all the way to a screenplay, where they wanted to do a crossover with I, Frankenstein, where Celine would just kind of be a post-credit cameo appearance. Oh my gosh.
I, Frankenstein.
What a bad idea.
I'm trying to remember a cameo, like she kind of cameos at the end of The Rise of Lycans, right?
Yeah, she if it's footage of her, she's definitely only voiceover, but yeah, I think they have archive footage of her.
Aaron Eckhart. I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah. I have never watched I, Frankenstein. I've never read the graphic novel. I hear the graphic novel is good. I don't know anything about the 2014 movie. So then 2016, Kate Beckinsale announced that Wesley Snipes was going to be returning to the role of Blade, and there was going to be an Underworld Blade crossover movie that was going to come out.
Whoa.
And they just needed to get Marvel to approve of it. But then Marvel was able to get all of the rights, or not all, but most of the rights to their characters, and they canceled that one.
I don't think that's I don't think that would have worked very well.
Yeah, I agree. As I look at that one, I'm like, okay, they're both daywalkers. That's it. Like, that's what they've got. Like, she hunts werewolves, he hunts vampires. Like, they are not allies. And then the final canceled project, again in 2016, the producer this time, producer David Kern, said that there was work with the Resident Evil film franchise to try to do a crossover. And that conceptually works. You've got two strong female leads.
I think the kind of color scales and whatnot kind of work too, at least from the Resident Evil ones that I've seen.
Yeah, like it would probably be a terrible movie. Like, the Resident Evil movies are really bad, but they're fun to watch. And I think Underworld plus Resident Evil also would have been fun to watch. So, like, of all of these projects that I hear about, I'm like, you know what? Resident Evil and Underworld kind of sounds good. Let's look at that one again, maybe.
That's probably one that matches more of what I was speaking about in the beginning with like Twilight. It I don't know how you would even quantify it, but like the filming feels the same. Like we want it to be, they're going more for horror, but they still end up with slow motion kind of whites and blacks, and then guns and zombies, but this one is guns and lichens. So I feel like that's pretty dang close, actually.
Oh yeah. And they're all undead, so why not?
Yeah.
Like, I think it works. Yeah, I think I probably would have gone to see that one because I've seen most of the Resident Evil movies. Not the most recent ones. I kind of fell off a few years ago, but I watched like the first 5. I was really into that franchise, knowing it was bad. I was like, this is not good, but I'm having a great time with it.
Well, I'm sure that it probably gets a little bit better. I don't know if you've played the games, but I know that I miss some references to it. Like, oh, there's this character. Like, okay, they exist. I'm imagining they exist in the game.
So I have not played many of the games. I have played the very first one, and that's it. And I didn't even beat the very first one. And so I know that there are some references, but it does get to a certain point where I don't know if this is a reference to like an earlier movie or to something in the games. And I'm like, oh, I've kind of forgotten everything. I can't think of anything else to say.
Oh, I've got tons more to say. Trying to think specifically. What lore makes sense about vampires in your opinion?
Like from this franchise or just in general?
No. The ways that this franchise failed vampires are, I don't think it needs to be a big thing that they don't see themselves in mirrors, but I think it's a nice throwback to what people think about vampires.
I absolutely agree. Oh my gosh.
I think
the mirrors.
The introduction of guns kind of betrays the immortal feel of vampires in general literature. Like will allow that it's Matrix influence because everything got hit by that.
Celine drowning in the very first movie because Michael saves her by pulling her out of the water and doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. But like vampires don't breathe. They're dead. Like they're dead.
They're dead.
It's hard to appreciate. So there's a pretty, like, I think it had 3, maybe 4 seasons, and it's based on a comic book. There's this show called Preacher, and one of the characters in it is a vampire, and one of the best jokes in it is after a night of drinking, he gets picked up and taken to the morgue because he's dead.
I haven't watched that. You can explain more.
So it's just a very good joke because he gets up and everybody's scared and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. That's why they say I'm dead drunk. Like nobody knows if I'm alive or dead until I get up. And like he plays it off. But for a second, I had forgotten vampires are dead. Like they don't do living things. They don't breathe. They don't have a pulse.
Yeah. Trying to think of any other things that I feel like betray vampires, because I do think that maybe not in the first movie. First movie, I don't recall anybody transforming into vampire and or hybrid
Mm-hmm.
form from vampires. Um,
Well, Michael gets to be hybrid,
yeah,
uh, his own special hybrid.
but I feel like transformation is a bit of like Dracula literature type feel of vampires, and
Yeah, I think a couple of times Celine will have her eyes
oh yeah,
change colors and
eh.
she'll bare her fangs, but it I don't know if we ever see it happen as a transformation because that is something that I take for granted in most vampire media is watching the teeth grow,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I can't remember if we ever see anyone's teeth grow. I think they just bare their fangs and they're already
Well,
extended.
yeah, and the fangs and blood. I feel like they kind of initially throw some reminder that they have fangs and they drink blood and they make fake blood or not fake blood, but replacement blood. But then,
Oh man, they drink blood for sex, but they also drink blood to get the memories. But if you're having sex, you don't get the memories.
I guess so. From stuff that I feel like you could add to a vampire movie to stuff that I think they briefly touched on, I miss the overpowering bloodsucker monster. Like these are
Mm-hmm.
all pretty people, but none of them really feel monstrous. There's a couple of like
Yeah.
the lichens are more monsters than they are, and the lichens are the good guys.
Yeah, for most of the movies. But you're absolutely right. Like my image of a vampire is it appearing next to you, then grabbing your head, twisting it to the side to reveal your neck, and you can't fight it because A, it's stronger than you, and B, it's probably hypnotized you,
Yeah.
and then coming down on your neck with its fangs and not trying to be neat and tidy about it, but being animalistic and tearing and like really getting in there. And I don't know if we ever got anything even remotely close to that. Like, Marcus was kind of animalistic in the
Yeah.
way he would bite people, but I don't. Everybody else seemed rather dainty about it.
Yeah. Victor's like, I think he bites Sonia to get her memories right. And it's kind of like,
He bites someone to get their memories,
yeah.
and I can't remember who. Or does he?
He pulls away, you betrayed, etc., etc.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, I don't think we got blood memory being a reliable tool until the second movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think Victor bit anyone in the first movie to get their memories.
Yeah, not that I
But
remember.
he might have gone through with it in the third movie
Yeah.
when suddenly blood memory was just a perfect thing that you could have.
Perfect memory.
Mm-hmm.
Not reserved for the elders. Anybody can do it.
Yeah. And not a confused mishmash of memories, but absolutely perfect one-to-one recreation of what happened.
I think that's helpful when you don't want to show everybody, like inform the audience of everything through dialogue. But it is a bit different than the reason that Victor couldn't trust Celine in the first movie. Like, well, her memories are shot. I can't do this with your help.
I couldn't solve the mystery. You gave me nothing. Yeah. All right, give me more. Give me more. What else? What else?
Nope, that's all. I did actually.
Oh.
I wanted to, and like we didn't really look at lichens because I think I'm
They're
a
kind
bit
of
more forgiving on that because they still use silver. Like,
yeah.
other than that, the transforming at will might be the only thing that is, well, sure, I feel like you get infected by getting bit. That tracks from the first time I've heard of werewolves. But transforming with or without the moon, I think that's the only change. But that's still like half, right?
Yeah.
Usually
Well, and
it's
I
just
keep
the moon.
thinking of Rise of the Lycans, where, like, in Underworld, they said that the most elder of the werewolves had learned how to transform at will. But then in Rise of the Lycans, they wear these collars where if they transform, it will instantly kill them,
Yeah.
suggesting that they all, right after their first transformation, have the ability to control it, even under a full moon. And I was like, ooh, that's irritating. Ooh.
Yeah.
But otherwise, um, I don't know. They were such a non-entity that it didn't really bother me as much because they're barely in this franchise.
It's mostly a vampire franchise, but let's make the
Mm-hmm.
vampires unique. Okay, but sometimes you contradict yourself, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's
All right.
all.
Well, I think we're ready to reveal the next franchise. Unless you have any objections.
Reveal away.
All right. So we are doing one more pre-recorded franchise, but of course we don't tell you guys what the franchises are until this part of the wrap-up episode because we want to punish you for wanting this. I don't know what I'm saying. The point is we've got it picked out. We're going to start the reviews. And then after this franchise, we will be doing real time with the rest of you guys. But we're excited to be doing the Conan trilogy. We've got the original 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian, followed by Conan the Destroyer. And then we're going to jump to 2011's Conan the Barbarian reboot with Aquaman. I always
Aquaman was
forget that actor's
Conan?
name.
See, I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
really know that one was him. I haven't watched any of these, but
I never knew that it came out. I was surprised that it existed. So I was just like, "Oh, that's a pretty big name star
yeah,
to have had a movie
it's
come out
like
that I didn't even know."
having The Rock in Scorpion King. We'll see.
Yeah. But I guess when The Scorpion King came out, like we barely knew who The Rock was as an actor. Like he was the wrestler,
Yeah.
but it was his movie. He was the star of that movie. Um, yeah. So Conan, that's going to be our uber masculine franchise. Now, there is a fourth Conan movie that is based on the original books, but it is not connected to the film franchise. I'm interested in it. One day I want to buy it and watch it because it sounds like a trip, but it's not going to be part of this franchise. We're only doing the original two movies and the reboot, and that's going to be it. So watch it with us next week. I don't know if you've got anything to say about Conan, if you're excited for it at all.
I, are the first two both Arnold Schwarzenegger? Were they
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm excited to see how much dialogue there is, how much explanation. I think it has Darth Vader in a really long black
Mm-hmm.
wig, but I've seen the
Mm-hmm.
picture of that, but I've always wondered why is that. So
We're gonna get to see all of that.
history
I've seen
lessons.
the first two before.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while. Obviously, I've never seen the third one. I didn't know the third one existed. So, uh, yeah, I'm very excited to get to the third one. I don't remember much about the first two. I know that I watched them, but I don't remember them.
Be an honest rating. Maybe you'll bring up some memories and you'll be like, wait, I hated this show.
Or maybe I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to the gym now. I'm going to be spending the rest of my life getting swole.
Swole like Arnold. I feel like it's going to be like He-Man and Masters of the Universe, but I literally know nothing. Is he a superhero? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like that's kind of a good vibe based on the image that I'm looking at from the cover. Like you've got clear bad guy material, you've got clear good guy material, and then you've got clear uber buff hero. So maybe it is going to be some like cheesy action thing with over the top villains, but we'll find out next week.
Arnold's other, I think I did enjoy that one that he did where he's like I think it's called Commando, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember enjoying that one.
I know I've seen it and I cannot remember anything about it, but I do remember well, I don't want to get into it. We'll get into it when we get into it, but
get into it later.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about Arnold because like we finally have a chance to talk about the Governator. Like I'm excited to talk about this big muscly man from Austria. All right, so if you enjoyed yourself and you want to help us out, why don't you give us a rating, a comment, a review, whatever it is that your podcatcher of choice allows. A thumbs up, I don't know, give it to us, we'll take it, we will be happy to have it. Another really great way to help us out is to share the episodes. If you knew someone who loved the Underworld franchise, send them the first one. I mean, you can send them this episode. That'd be a weird place to start, but send them the first one and let them go on this journey with us. And then, of course, if a whole episode is too much, you can always send the shorts, which we post to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And then finally, if you have a franchise that you want us to check out, or if you just have a thing you want to say about Underworld or any of these movies, when we come back to the live episodes, we will read that. Send us the email at potatochippicturespod@gmail.com. It's also in the description. And we don't have a sign-off for Conan yet, so I guess I'll do the one that we kind of adopted midway through this one. Until the next full moon, goodbye.